Hey, what's up, everybody? So remember when I was telling you guys that you're gonna get a few videos where I'm not so much in a good mood? Well, it's definitely non-stop November. And yeah, it's also one of those days when I'm not in the best mood. It's about that time of the month. I'm gonna keep it real, bitches. Not feeling it today. But damn it, we gotta do what we gotta do. So now that we got that out the way, this is just a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blogs. Let's get to it, shall we? Okay, so you guys gave me some pretty good topics to talk about. I told you we are going to do serious and entertainment, so let's get through our serious subjects first. First is the celebration. Carlesha Freeland Gaither. I think that's her last name. She is the 22-year-old who was abducted in Philadelphia. It was caught on video. I think she was in some like corner store. This guy just out of nowhere, grabbed her. And it was caught on video of her struggle of trying to get away from this guy. He was able to wrestle her to the car and, drive off with her. Now, in all of the struggle that she was putting up, she had kicked out some windows and, had made quite a bit of a scene. So they knew that, they were looking for somebody who had, maybe a window was missing. And a few days later, sure enough, the gentleman, let's see, the guy's name was Delvin Barnes, and he is a 37-year-old fugitive. Basically, looks like he's on the run from the state of Virginia. He's wanted there for attempted capital murder and assault and malicious injury with acid, explosives, or fire. Okay, so Mr. Delvin is crazy and quite dangerous. She was also in quite a bit of danger. And I mean, of course, somebody is snatching you, out of just feeling like they gonna take you, and you already know that they don't have, good in their intentions. So yeah, Wednesday evening, they said it was late afternoon. Actually, the police saw the car that thought that they were looking for, fit the description of the car anyway, and the window was missing. And when they pulled the car over, Delvin got out without a fight, and they were able to arrest him, and they found Carlesha in the back seat, and she was safe. We don't really know if he's done anything to her. They haven't said anything like that, and they probably won't, but she's alive and she is well, and she was able to be reunited with her family. So definitely a victory, because these cases, 90% of the time is not a happy ending. And like I said, I told you guys what he was wanted for in Virginia. Assault and malicious injury with acid, explosives, or fire. Okay, so he's probably setting somebody damn on fire or something. Just crazy. You don't know what these people, I don't even understand what the hell. Okay, so whatever. She has been found. She's back home safe and sound. They said that the fact that she was so rambunctious and, fought the whole time, definitely saved her life. So just telling everybody, I mean, you have just got to have eyes at the back of your head. And even then, if somebody's just gonna grab you out the middle of the damn store, just I mean, you just don't know. But whatever, we are celebrating today that Carlesha is home, and it's just good to hear a happy ending to a story that could have turned out a whole lot worse. So here's to hoping that, Mr. Delvin Barnes gets all that's coming to him. He needs to be in jail for a long, long time. So the other morning when I woke up, I saw that they were talking about on Good Morning America, a girl by the name of Brittany Maynard who took her own life in Oregon. She was a 29-year-old girl who had malignant stage 4 brain tumors. Okay, so she was diagnosed at the beginning of the year and has seen the quality of her life go, swiftly down, and originally she lived in California. She lived somewhere near Berkeley or Irvine or somewhere that way. Once she found out that she had the brain tumor, she and her husband actually moved to Oregon because they knew that Oregon had the Death with Dignity Act. Basically, that is, the state will assist in suicide if you have a terminal illness, and if you decide that you want to take the medication to end your life, then you're able to do so in Oregon. Oregon is one of, I think, 5 or 6 states that have that law. So as the time went on and she saw her life just get worse and worse. Basically, they said that she was having seizures all the time. She had neck and headaches all the time, real severe. I mean, I could imagine. You know, you've seen the pictures. If you guys are familiar with the case, you've seen the pictures of her, how she looked before and how she looked at the end. I mean, her head was swollen. I mean, you know, the tumor was large. She's just been suffering. So she made the decision that on November 1st that she was going to take a fatal dose of barbiturates and end her life, and that is what she did. Now, of course, there were people that were both in support and against her doing this. There's a big support group by the name of Compassion and Choices, and they were the ones who were had really taken on her cause and was really making it known, you know, that this is what she was going to do. And of course, you have those who are opposed. You have your religious groups. You have those who are just basically against suicide and feel that if your life is going to end, that it should end naturally. And there is no concern for whether or not that, you know, that the ending of your life is so horrible and painful. Is just still the natural order of things. And I guess their feeling is that if that's the hand that God has dealt you, then that's the one that you have to deal with. Now, I don't know what my feeling is on that. I've never been one to think that I would ever take my life, but I've also never been one that's been in severe pain and also knowing that I'm gonna die anyway. It's just a difference in the whole thought process when you know that this is something that is imminent, and do you want to die with some level of control over how it happens, or do you just want to die, be in pain and, you know, seizures or attacks or whatever it's going to be. So yeah, it's kind of a hard, you know, it's a hard thing to go by. Now, of course, you know, people are arguing that the Compassion and Choices, you know, prey on people who are in a lot of pain and might not necessarily, I mean, I guess people are saying that there could be some miracle where a person's condition can turn around, and that, you know, it's not the end until it's the end, until they ultimately die. So if they take their lives and there was some chance that they could have survived, then it's not, you know, this is not the way to go. And I just wanted to bring this story to you guys because I wanted to know how you feel about it. What do you think about doctor assisted suicide? Shouldn't a person be 100% in control over whether or not they live or die, especially when it's someone that has something like brain cancer, or, you know, it's a death that is imminent anyway? Yeah, it's a sad story. I felt really sad hearing about it, just all the way around. Okay, the fact that her pain was so great that she even, you know, thought to take her own life. You know, it's a touchy subject, but you guys weigh in below and let me know what you think about it. I mean, do you feel like it's morally wrong to, you know, take medication and end your life? Is it any different than you hanging yourself or jumping from a building or, you know, taking sleep pills? It's basically almost the same thing. It's a fatal dose of barbiturates. You have to be the one to administer it yourself. No one can help you. They said that out of 1,100 cases where they were prescribed the medication for people who had made the choice to do it, 750 had gone through with it. So some people had changed their mind, but the majority of people had, you know, went through with the case. You guys just let me know what you think about it. But yeah, I guess we'll just say rest in peace to Brittany Maynard, and, you know, prayers up for her family that are still here. In Fort Lauderdale, there's a new ordinance up that says that you cannot feed the homeless people. If you feed the homeless people, then you will be arrested. So there were 2 pastors and a 90-year-old man that the police was forced to arrest because of this new ordinance. The 3 gentlemen said that, you know, they're not going to let this law stop them, that once they got out of jail, that they planned on going back to, you know, feed these homeless people. So the law says that if you're going to be feeding homeless people, then there are some rules that you have to go by. Basically, you have to be at least 500 feet from a residential homes or residential neighborhood. It limits feeding sites to just 1 in a city block in Fort Lauderdale, and it can't be within 500 feet of each other. So they can't be that close to each other. Now, I guess Fort Lauderdale has a large homeless problem. This is their way of trying to probably force these homeless people out of the area. I know that in Los Angeles back in the day, Santa Monica had a huge homeless population, and Santa Monica is the beach, and that's where all the rich people live, and it's, you know, it's beautiful, and they have the pier, and they have the boardwalks, and they have all of this, and then they got a whole bunch of damn homeless people around. Okay, they know it's a high tourist area, and they don't want all these homeless people down there. So what they did is they came up with different situations where they closed a lot of homeless shelters. I closed them all and forced these homeless people to all move to downtown Los Angeles. And now downtown LA is going through this whole big revival where they're trying to make a lot of changes and make it attractive for people to move down there. They're building all these lofts and, you know, all these multi-use areas where there's stores and, you know, apartments above it, condos above it, or whatever. And I believe that it's going to be the same thing downtown eventually. They're going to force all them homeless people somewhere. You know, the whole thing is you can't get rid of homeless people. People are homeless. They ain't got no money. Folks are hungry. You know, it's, you know, I kind of feel like it's putting a bandage on the real problem. Is like, what do we do to help these people? A lot of the homeless people are mentally ill, and you know, it's just kind of, we just kind of pushing them somewhere else. Okay, that's not my problem no more, you know. And I assume that it's going to be a similar situation in Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale is a high tourist area as well. That's a story down in Fort Lauderdale. They say if you're going down there, you feed the homeless people, you got a fine of $500 damn and or 6 months of jail time. Is it worth it to you? Okay, so we have had so much fool of fucking niggardry on the Love and Hip Hop Hollywood scene this week. I guess we just gonna start this video off with the foolishness that has gone down there. So they are all in New York. They're filming the Love and Hip Hop Hollywood reunion. And evidently it's been quite a bit of mess down there. Okay, so we just gonna go in order. Now, the biggest story right now out of the Love and Hip Hop franchise is the fact that Berg beat up Masika. They were staying at the Hotel Gershwin, and evidently after the reunion was taped, they had been drinking quite a bit. I don't know if they went out afterwards and was drinking a lot and had ran up this huge tab of wherever they were. And when Berg went to pay for the bill, this is what they're saying, you guys. So allegedly, when Berg went to pay for the bill, his credit card was declined. He was over the limit. So Masika handled the bill. And I guess because his car was declined, Berg was embarrassed. He left her, supposedly. Once she got back to the hotel where they were staying, she was fussing at him for leaving her, and there was a fight. They said that he choked her out. They say that he dragged her by her hair from the bathroom to the, you know, the other part of the hotel room. And yeah, evidently it was going down there. Now, it's really strange that Berg just doesn't strike me as that type of person. I mean, we've heard about things that have happened to Berg, him getting his chain snatched and, you know, all kind of other things. So it's just interesting that he chose this time to hit on somebody and choke somebody out. People are saying that it's, you know, that it's karma, and what goes around comes around. And, you know, I mean, I guess you can say all of that. I don't really know any woman that deserves to get choked out and dragged from bathrooms to, you know, whatever. But it just makes it harder to feel sorry for her. We'll just say that. She's hasn't been the most innocent on the show. So when you hear stories about that, you just be like, oh, well, that's too bad. I'm not laughing, y'all. So he was taken to jail. They also said once he was taken to jail, they found out that he's also in arrears of his child support. Like I said, I don't know why these motherfuckers get on these shows and don't pay their damn child support. I mean, let Berg tell it. He's the hit maker, right? In more ways than one. If you making all this money producing for Nicki and Puffy and, you know, doing all of this work that you say you're doing, then why the fuck you can't pay your damn child support bills? I will never understand it. So whatever. They say that Berg is out now. Masika's trying to kind of take up for him and say that she blames it all on the fact that he was drunk or he was high. And that's probably definitely what the issue is, but still, okay, We get drunks and highs all the times. I put S's on all of that. But we just can't go around beating motherfuckers up and choking folks out. Okay, so I don't even see. I was actually surprised that Berg and Masika was actually staying in the same place. I mean, I know they have been saying that they were dating and all, but you know, half of the shit that I don't really believe, I always be feeling like it's for TV anyway. But you know, the fact that they were staying together in the hotel, I mean, maybe there's some truth to it. So we'll see, you guys. If they even, you know, if that, I don't see that couple making it. Something tells me Masika was just using it for, you know, just to be on right now. So we'll see. So that was one story, okay? Also, Hazel Lee, because they're in New York, she did an interview with Hot 97. I listened to it, and it was you guys, it was so odd, okay? To see the Hazel Lee that and I'm saying Hazel E. Okay, I know it sounds like I'm saying Hazel Lee, but I'm saying Hazel E. Okay, I know y'all be wanting to correct me all the goddamn time. But anyway, to see Hazel on the show, then to see her on this radio show, it's hard to match these two people up. Okay, Hazel is so stupid and so clueless and so naive and so trusting and just playing the fool on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. And then when she gets on this radio show, you know, you listen to her and you actually believe that she has quite a bit of sense, that she is a success in her own right, okay, that she has really made some strides for herself. And yeah, it doesn't make sense that she would even put herself on a show to play such an idiot. Like, somebody sent me an email, Stock Collective, hey, how you doing? It was funny because the email that you sent me was exactly how I felt. I was feeling like, damn, is she putting on for us? Okay, are we really the dummies that's believing this story? Okay, she's the one that pretty much, let her tell it anyway, she's the one that pretty much had created the show with Mona. Not created, but you know, this part of the franchise, the Hollywood. She was the one that brought all the characters up, okay, and which I can believe. I mean, she was a publicist and she seemed to be pretty good at what she was doing. She was telling us about her accomplishments and all of this, and then, you know, it was just crazy to me, because I was just like, I can't even. And not only that, wasn't it strange when she was just like, Mona felt like I should have platinum hair? I was just like, so Mona tells everybody what they should even look like. Okay, and then I started thinking like, well, Mona had to know that that doesn't look good on her. So like, was that even also a part of it to just, I mean, listen, because I had to get somebody, I had to tell somebody before. We know that these shows are fake, okay? Now, when I do reviews on these shows, we get all excited and all of that, that's because we just buying into it. But in our real right mind, we all know that reality shows is just entertainment, and that we watch it for entertainment and we don't really believe what's going on. We know that it's created scenes. We know that it's created drama, and, you know, all of that. So that's the whole thing. But y'all done lost my damn point. Oh my God. What was I going to say? Well, I guess I was just going to say that, you know, the fact that they control everything so much, it just, the whole interview made me just feel like it was, I mean, it was more insight this time into really how much they control the environment of these reality shows, and the fact that Mona has put Hazel Lee on there and that she has agreed to all of this. Now, of course, she's, you know, and the general tone of all of the radio interviews that I listened to, the general tone is now everybody is just kind of realizing, you know, kind of how much bullshit it is. Hazel, of course, in her case is with Berg, and when you listen to her, you get an idea that they did deal with each other quite a bit, even though Berg tried to downplay it. I still feel like he's never treated her like she was his boo or anything. But, you know, you just, yeah, it was an interesting interview. I want you guys to watch it if you haven't already. She also, you know, did some her music didn't sound bad. I was actually surprised because she sounded good. So it was like, now it was like, okay, now you done got on this show and you done made such an ass of yourself. I mean, is anybody gonna take you seriously? Because I know that all of us that was listening was expecting it to be some bullshit. I didn't, and she actually sounded good, okay? I feel like she kind of sold herself out, okay, trying to get her music out there, put herself on the show, and then just, we ain't even really thought too much about her music because she been such, with all of this buffoonery with Young Berg and Tierra and all of that. So yeah, you guys tell me what you think about that interview, because it was really, really interesting and eye-opening, and I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna feel differently about Hazel E when you see it. And I don't know if you're gonna feel better or worse about it, but you definitely gonna feel different. And then the last interview, Tierra Marie and Morgan went on to the Breakfast Club, and of course that's with Charlemagne and Angela Yee and all of them. They went on the show there and was on one. Now Morgan, okay, now first of all, they fresh off of the reunion, and evidently there was some shit that had gone down at the reunion the night before. They were there recording 17 hours. I'm sure it was a lot of drinking. Evidently Tierra got into a fight with Princess Lee and Ray J. Evidently Morgan was hit by Princess Love, and then they restrained Morgan so she couldn't hit her back. So then she had her hand was wrapped up because evidently she hit the wall. I was like, the fuck is wrong with you? You hitting walls and shit. I mean, bitch, you don't calm your goddamn ass, sit down some damn where, fucking up the walls. And did the wall do something to you? And do you feel okay now that you done bust the fucking wall out and the person's still over there? Who you hitting walls for? Y'all calm your ass down. Let me get on back to it. So anyway, so I'm just telling you guys all this because you have to understand the mindset and how you can tell that they were very irritated. Tierra Marie, she sounded like she was on either the verge of crying or on the verge of, you know how it is, because when I get upset and when I get mad, I want to cry. I hate that about me because if people think that is a weakness. And it's not necessarily weakness, it's just I can't control it. And I feel like Tierra Marie was on the verge. I mean, I feel like she kind of regrets being, she even said she sort of regrets being on the show, which you hear a lot of people say. The reality shows and haven't shown her in the best light. Even when I listen to Tierra outside of the reality show, I kind of like her. Okay, she doesn't seem like she seems like she's a pretty cool girl, just ain't been able to keep control of some of her emotions, but so she was not even feeling like she could say too much, and I think that was frustrating her. But Morgan was going on and on about Ray J and you know how he's a fraud, he's a fake bitch, and you know he beat her in front of her 11-year-old son, and how her son, you know, trusted him and loved him, and this is all that she had in her life, and you know she put all this trust into Ray J, and that he's treated her this way and this and that and the other. She's been there for him. She's always been there through all of the bullshit that he's done. She's always covered up for him. And then now that this has happened, that he has attacked her or put hands on her, which still to me, I don't know what put hands mean. I need to know if it was a fucking sock. Okay, was it a grab? Was it a sock? Was it a shake up? Was it a push? Okay, it's a lot that could be involved in a put hands on me. Okay, so that's why until I really know 100% what the ramifications was of this putting on hands, I can't get too excited about it. But evidently it was enough for her to upset her 11-year-old son. Okay, whatever. But let me tell you the problem I have with Morgan. Okay, now Morgan, she said it herself. She was his ride or die. She accepted all of the bullshit that Ray J did until the shit happened to her. Okay, and to me, okay, what do that say about you? You covering up for Ray J and, you know, there for all the bullshit that Ray J has been through and all the shit that he's done to other people, and you was fine with it until it happened to you. Yeah, I don't know if that makes you, 100%, the best judge of moral character either. Because why was it okay as long as it didn't happen to you? Okay, you should have known that if Ray J was so, such the fake fraud phony that you say that he is, that eventually it was going to get around to you, right? Okay, so now all of a sudden, he got his woman, and his woman might be upset with the relationship that Morgan and Ray J had, whatever. Princess Love got her own issues. Okay, she was saying how, Princess used to be with Floyd Mayweather, and how when he went to jail, she was trying to talk to Floyd, and It's just stupid. You can tell that the girl is hurt, okay? And when you be hurt and upset and fresh off of it, you get on shit like this and you just say whatever, okay? She was just running off at the mouth. I don't know if she's gonna regret any of the shit that she said. Okay, she even tried to imply that he beat Brandy, which is crazy to me, because really, you beating up your sister? I don't know if I can believe that, okay? I feel like, that's why I feel like it could be something, even, you know, in a drunk, like, get off of me, push back like this. You know, it's just, I didn't feel no more sorry for Morgan, okay? I thought that she was being really messy, and I feel like she was trying to get Tierra to co-sign. There's people walking by my car. She was trying to get Tierra to co-sign on a lot of shit, and Tierra was just like, I don't know nothing about that. He ain't never did nothing like that to me. I ain't never had that problem with him, you know. So Tierra kept herself definitely out of it. But Morgan, okay, because I guess she was so frustrated in the fact that she had to hit the fucking wall and bust her hand up, that, you know, she had to get on this show and say whatever she felt like she could say verbally to attack Ray J and Princess. Now, of course, when we see the damn show, then we'll be able to be a better judge of it. But yeah, I didn't feel no more sorry for Morgan, okay, because I feel like Morgan is just mad because now she's on the receiving end of his bullshit, okay? So I can't feel sorry for her. But yeah, y'all, Love and Hip Hop. The crazy thing about Love and Hip Hop Hollywood is somebody else pointed out that nobody on there is super likable. You don't really have the feeling of liking anybody. I think out of all of the people on the show, I only really like April and Omarion. Okay, and even Omarion makes that shit hard for you some days. Okay, so I don't know. I feel like Mona and them are going to have to make some changes to this cast. I don't even know if Nikki and Mally Mal will even be back. Masika, she's not even, you know, they got a lot of people that aren't main characters who got these bullshit ass storylines, and yeah, they gonna have to do some overhauling to Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. Did I get all of that, y'all? I tell you, I had so much notes on they shit. Yeah, I look like that's about it on the full of fucking nigga tree of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. Also, since we were talking about Love and Hip Hop, the franchise, let me real fast talk about Benzino and Althia and the fact that they were fired from the Love and Hip Hop ATL portion of the franchise. I can't say that I am surprised, because Benzino and Althia was quite a bit at the end of last season. Okay, we cannot forget about at the reunion when they all had their interviews with that producer with the unfortunate looking white man. What was his name, y'all? With the pork chop sideburns. When they met up with him, you guys remember how Benzino tried to go off on him, and I was just like, that ain't the right one to go off on, okay? He is the executive producer of this show, and him and Mona are kind of like side by side, and I definitely know that they have the last say in who the fuck is on the show. So that was stupid of Benzino to do that to begin with. But then even after, you know, even before all of that, and even after that, him and Althea was just too much. Okay, they was just doing too much, and I think Mona and them decided to cut their losses. Now they're saying that there could be a couple of reasons why this happened. First, I heard that it was because they were demanding more money. Because Benzino is he's such a like kind of like bitch made a little bit. He always posting shit on Instagram, you know, some old, you know, low key bullshit about, you know your worth and make sure that they pay you for it or some shit like that. So, you know, then people starting to think that maybe it was because they were asking for more money. Okay, for some reason, Benzino and Althea seem to think that they were as important as Stevie and Jocelyn. And, you know, they had to learn the hard way that no, baby, you definitely are not. Okay, nobody really wants to hear about Benzino and Althea. Baby. Yeah. No. Okay, so that was one of the reasons. And then word came out that they were planning on suing Jocelyn up in New York. There was a warrant out for Jocelyn's arrest, evidently, because of the attack of her fighting them at the reunion show. So I'm not sure if that happened before or after the news of them getting fired came out, but whatever it was, they're also saying that that might be a reason why they were fired, is because now you're on a reality show, you know, the stakes are high, there's a chance that you might get into a fight, and then when you get into a fight on the show, if the producers and the creators of this show have to worry about you suing everybody all the time, well, now you a fucking liability. Okay, so we gonna get rid of your ass. They're saying that might be the reason why they're also off the show, because now they're suing Jocelyn for assault. So I don't know, but you know, it ain't no love lost here. I didn't have to see Althea and Benzino again. We just gonna put, who wants to place a bet on how much longer Althea gonna stay with Benzino now that they ain't gonna be on this show, y'all? All that forever and no prenup and all of that. Okay, I bet you it's probably a good thing that they haven't gotten married. I don't think they've gotten married yet. I sure hope they haven't gotten married yet, because that shit is fixing to be over. Sorry, Benzino and Althea. Better luck next time. Well, y'all, wouldn't be a top of the blogs if I didn't talk about your girl Beyonce, y'all. So what was Beyonce exactly drinking or smoking? I want you to leave it below in the comment section. That bitch was feeling so good at the basketball game the other day. Look, I done been there. First of all, I'm gonna let you know that when I don't smoke. However, there was a couple of months when my mom died that I could not cope, and I had to just do a little blazing up of the old J joint. And you guys, it was that exact same feel. You know, I don't know how people smoke weed, because I cannot function. Okay, it's just, it puts me somewhere else that really all I could really am good for is going to fuck to sleep. She was sitting in the game and she was, you know, first of all, she had locked her eyes on something about way down there somewhere. And she was like, you know, and them eyes was real glossy looking. And she was kind of singing something in her mind. She was zoned out, and somebody caught it on video. People were going on and on about it, and I was like, look, why the child can't sit there and be high or drunk or just zoned out like anybody else? Okay? This girl is human. And folks wanted to just be, now the shit was funny. And I was like, girl, whatever it was that you had, I want a little bit of it. And a little bit of me was like, Lord, I hope this ain't the second showing of Beyonce losing her damn mind. Okay, because y'all, we knew she had them fucked up bangs was the first sign. And now this right here, now we get one more sign of it, then we gonna have to stretch out the hands of prayer. But we ain't gonna do it just yet, because I don't think that is anything more than she was zoned out and somebody caught it. But yeah, she looked fucked up. She didn't have any eyeliner on, which always makes you look like you are fucked up. I don't have any eyeliner on right now, but my eyelashes help. But she didn't have any eye makeup on, so that always, you know, shit, when you don't wear eyeliner at work and somebody be like, oh, you feel okay? I feel just fine. I don't have any makeup on. So I think that that's pretty much all it was, but the shit was good for the old Kiki. And then also, speaking of Beyonce, you guys, she's coming out with this platinum edition version of her Beyonce album. For just the low price of $30, you can get the exact same album that you just bought of hers, with 2 new songs and a couple of remixes. Beyonce and Jay-Z are some damn geniuses, okay? Because you gonna put out an album with just 2 new songs and charge folks $15 more for it. Beehive is going to definitely do it. If people gonna do it, people definitely gonna do it because they want to have it in their collection, and that's fine. I won't be doing it, okay? But you know, and I guess I might try to get a hold of the 2 new songs and everything. But honey, I done had enough video footage of Beyonce, concert footage of Beyonce. I don't want to see it. So whoever buys it out there, I know Ashley, okay, she didn't almost took it up to stan status, Ash. But I know Ashley's got it, and you guys, I'll listen to y'all's reviews of it. But yeah, I'm not. Oh, we had a little bit of shit go down at Tyler Perry Studios not too far from my house the other day, so let's get into that a little bit. So evidently, Tyler Perry has this employee, okay, by the name of Joshua Soul. He is a 27-year-old young man, and he works for Tyler Perry in some sort of capacity. Now, the other day, Joshua, we don't know what got his panties in a bunch, but Joshua decided to act a fucking fool at the damn Tyler Perry Studios. Okay, they said that he was able to disarm the alarm system. They said he was able to cut off all the surveillance cameras in the buildings, and that he was able to hide himself in a suspended ceiling evidently in one of the offices. Once he dropped down out that ceiling, I guess he barricaded himself in one of the administrative offices, and we don't know what his demands was, but something had then got to brother Joshua quite tough that he felt that He wanted to talk to Mr. Tyler Perry, I suppose. They called the police and all of that, and they got through. I think they said it took 4 hours for them to get to Mr. Joshua. But by the time they got him and arrested him, they took him on down to Fulton County jails and, you know, booked them. But I think the bigger story is why are you so mad, Joshua? What Tyler do to that boy? It's so funny when you read the story on the different blogs, because I had actually read the story on, I think, on Gossip. And when you read through the comment sections, of course, everybody feels like what I immediately felt, which was that Mr. Joshua and Tyler obviously had some sort of relationship and the shit had then went bad. He probably was putting up quite a fuss. Tyler Perry was probably ignoring him, so he was like, motherfucker, I'm gonna get your number, okay, and you gonna pay some attention to me, okay? So the nigga went and cut off all alarms and the cameras and hit himself in the goddamn ceilings, definitely to get Tyler Perry's attention. Now, you know, Tyler Perry, even though, because he's so upset about what Mr. Joshua did, he went and got a restraining order on him and say that he can't come within 500 feet of him, that he needs to get a psychological evaluation, and that he also is suing for $100,000 because of the, you know, all of the stress that he basically put Tyler Perry through. So to me, I feel like it's two lovers that's having like this spat. Like, we can't see like the inside story, but it was enough to from the outside for us to be able to say that, you know, these two men, Tyler and young Joshua Soul, are having some sort of lover spat. Okay, so that's what you get when you read through the regular blogs. Okay, now somebody tweeted me this morning the same story, and it was on Yolanda Adams' blog, okay, from her radio show. And when you read through those comments, it's so funny because it's the church crowd, and because I told you that Tyler Perry has a church crowd in his pocket. Okay, he definitely has them. Okay, their whole stance was like, oh my God, mental illness is so real in the world, and oh, we're praying for you, Tyler, and stay strong, and I hope that young man gets some help. And I was just like, man, come the fuck on. Now listen, I loves my God like everybody else, but now you know good damn well that ain't no man going through all of that without it being another story. And then when you see the damn mugshot of old boy, he got this smirk like he looking like, yeah, baby, next move on you. We're gonna see if there's more that comes from this story. I know Candy from Sweet Addictions TV, and you know, has the inside scoop. I sure wish she would just come on and tell us, instead of just giving us a damn teaser on Instagram saying that she just heard a whole bunch of good tea. But, so we'll keep our eyes open. But yeah, evidently looked like Mr. Tyler and Mr. Joshua, they didn't fell out with each other. Y'all work that shit out. And then lastly, you guys, in quickies, Quad from the show Married to Medicine was rushed to urgent care after sustaining injuries from a fight filming the new season of Married to Medicine. I don't know who she was in a fight with. People are saying that it's probably with the Mariah girl. I didn't even really watch that show. However, I know about the drama that goes on between the two of them. I guess we'll see when the new season starts. Sherry Fletcher from the show Hollywood Exes is now getting a divorce from her 7-year pastor husband. I don't know what his name is because I didn't write it down. No one seems to be surprised. The general consensus is that he is a pastor. She lives a lifestyle that is not conducive to pastoring and the Christian stance, and that she is an alcoholic. I don't know if any of that is true either because I never watched that show as well. For anybody who cares, the pictures of Kanye West's new tennis shoe with Adidas was leaked when they pulled the tennis shoe out on a flight, and someone who was sitting behind them took a picture of it. I guess the bigger story with that was, why wasn't they on a damn private plane and instead on a public plane and then showing a shoe that was just, you know, supposedly so coveted? Child, I couldn't. They might have leaked that shit themselves. And congratulations are in order for Kelly Rowland, who is the second member of the new Destiny's Child to have a baby. She had a baby boy by the name of Titan Jewel Witherspoon. Congratulations to Kelly and Tim Witherspoon, and now I guess we just waiting on Michelle, baby girl. Y'all see Michelle having a baby. Alright, you guys, that is it. We do this every single week. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Until next time, Roxstars. Bye.